Chinese government scientist who worked closely with researchers at the Wuhan lab filed a patent for a COVID-19 vaccine well before the disease became a global pandemic. Can't think of why that could possibly be. Yusen Zhu, who worked for the People's Liberation Army, lodged the paperwork on behalf of the Chinese political party on February 24, 2020, according to the Australian newspaper. That date was just 5 weeks after China first confirmed human transmission of the coronavirus. Zhu is also said to have worked closely with scientists at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, including Shi Zhengli, the deputy director of the lab, who is famous for her research on coronavirus in bats. Turns out Mr. Zhu, who also had close ties to the University of Minnesota and the New York Blood Center, came to an unfortunate, untimely end. 3 weeks after he filed the patent, he was dead, and his death was only recorded by a single Chinese media outlet. Move along, nothing to see here. Another disappearing act took place over the weekend when Dr. Christian Andersen yeeted his own Twitter account. Andersen was the virologist who emailed Dr. Fauci in January 2020 to tell him that the COVID-19 virus looked like it had been engineered in a lab. Now he's gone completely dark on Twitter after deleting thousands of posts, then terminating his entire account completely. Again, nothing suspicious about that whatsoever. Now yet another major scientific study has come to the same conclusion that fact checkers and mainstream media outlets derided as a debunked conspiracy theory. The same conclusion that you weren't allowed to voice on any major social media platform for the best part of the last year. According to Dr. Stephen Key and Berkeley physics professor Richard Muller, quote, "The most compelling reason to favour the lab leak hypothesis is firmly based in science." The scientists added that COVID-19 has a genetic footprint that has never been observed in a natural coronavirus. The research points to the genome sequencing of the virus CGG, which is one of 36 sequencing patterns observed but does not occur in nature. The scientists said, quote, "The CGG-CGG combination has never been found naturally. That means the common method of viruses picking up new skills called recombination cannot operate here." Last week, emails from Dr. Fauci, released under the Freedom of Information Act request, revealed that the same guy who thanked Fauci for dismissing the lab leak theory had not only funded the Wuhan lab, he was later tasked by the WHO with conducting the investigation into it. Dr. Peter Daszak was also hired by Facebook as a fact checker and tasked with the responsibility of censoring conspiracy theories concerning the hypothesis that the virus leaked from the lab. Even after all this came to light, medical journal The Lancet still appointed Daszak as the leader of a task force to investigate the origins of the coronavirus. Again, this is all just one huge coincidence, and doesn't clearly indicate in any way that the same people responsible for leaking the virus from the lab then tried to cover it up. How could anyone even dare to draw such a conclusion?